Just bear with me a minute. Just posting that to the Discord chat. And then checking that we've got audio. We do. Cool. So, welcome along to Aero League Racing. And this is season 19 for Tier 4 Blue. And round 1, beginning of a brand new season. A few new people to the tier as well. We've got a few people moving down from tier 3 and a few people moving up from tier 4 or tier 5, sorry. And a few mixing up between the two tiers of tier 4 blue and white as well. So there's a good mix of new people to get the season started. People will make a note of Monty, Adalo, Gin Tonics and Bendit, and I think Petropolis. They're all seeded drivers from previous seasons, so they've all done quite well at some point. So ones to look out for, probably. But then we've got some peaks from last season in this same tier that did really well as well. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a really good start to the season. And I have it under good authority that even though the standings might be what you think, the racing really is good for this round. So it does sound like it's going to be good. I know there was a few stewards inquiries as well. So, a bit soon. Yeah, so we've got a good race to look forward to. So we'll, as usual, we don't get the qualifying, so we'll run through whose positions where and what car they're in, and then we'll get on with the racing. So first position, pole position here is Mr. Darlington in the Audi R8. We're sporting a fine KFC livery. Then in second place, I think that's the McLaren. Is it a McLaren? It looks like a McLaren. Yeah, that's the McLaren Monteva. Then in third place, Bendit. So I think this is one to watch. And then Gin in fourth. Gin Tonics. I could definitely do with one of them. Sporting a very apt livery with a Hendrickson's gin. Then we've got Bendit's teammate in fifth, Ads. So he's done really well. He did really well at the end of last season for Tier 4 White. So I definitely think this is one to watch. So both the Lexus doing really well at this track by the look of it. Another familiar face from last season, Beaumont in a Rapid AMG. It looks like some of the liveries in this race have sort of deleted themselves, so that's a bit of a shame. He does have quite a nice livery, but maybe it will come up in the main event. Then we've got Gru in the other McLaren in seventh place. Tetropolis in the Alpha 4C. First time I've seen that in being raced, so it is a good car. It just, I don't know, personally, I just don't know how much I get on with it. It doesn't feel like it's got quite enough go in it, but just being a small engine, but it does run well. So he's in eighth in that. Then we've got Radiate in ninth, another one from last season, and he's in the Supra, so that'll be a real rocket ship around this track. Chuck Norris, by name and nature, maybe, in 10th, in a interestingly retro livery in the Ferrari. That's pretty cool. Then Orak in a BMW. He's another one from last year in 11th place. Then we've got JP in 12th in the Jag. Juho in the Mercedes again in 13th. Slavman in the other Alpha in 14th. Munkin in 15th. And Mr. Bruschetti in another M6 in 16th place. So we'll head back up to the grid. Let's change this view again. So we'll go back a few, shall we? And yeah, so let's get ready for the first race of season 19. We've already got 3 red lights, 4, 5, lights out, and that's a great start from everybody. No false starts by the look of it. And we're off going into turn 1. It looks like Jin's already got a good start, but Montava's coming back pretty good. And oh, we've just seen somebody going off there. Who was that? Was that Slavman? But there's still someone behind. Let's just quickly jump back, see if what we can see happens here. Oh yes, that's a quick punt in the back, and it looks like that might have come from Slavman. Looks like he's waiting up, so that's good sportsmanship. But let's jump back up to the front. Darlington's getting away really quickly, so we've got Montava in second again. Gintonic's managed to lose that position that he gained, but only briefly. We see Bendit in the behind him in 4th, and where's his teammate? He's down in 7th at the minute, so I believe there's a bit of a coming together between these two in the first lap, so we'll just hang on with them for the minute. Beaumont's not giving them any breathing room though. In fact, look how tight the pack is. There's a few little moves just letting people know that they're there, trying to be a bit of a distraction. The livery on that Lexus is really nice. I like the chrome. So Jin's managed to make a bit of a gap now to them, so I'm not too sure where this incident happened, but Beaumont's all over the back of him, and Chuck's still there as well. Let's quickly jump down the running order, see who's where. So Tetropolis is doing quite well in the remaining Alpha, but he's got Radiate all over the back of him. All of them keeping their foot planted through. Although, there we go. That was a brilliant dive on the inside from Radiate. Loads of room left, and took the opportunity, the Supra perhaps getting a bit more power out of the corners to make that move stick. And then we'll run back down again. So now it's in 5th gear. The McLaren's going to use the strength of its speed, keeping ahead of Juho and the Mercedes. Pretty good, clean racing so far from everybody. Very impressed. It's usually a little bit eager on the first race of the season, so everyone's doing quite well so far. So we'll jump back up and see if we can see anything. So Ads is in 7th place, keeping up with this little pack in front of him. Bendit has managed to close that gap to Jin quite substantially now. So maybe it's this lap. We'll see. And at some point Montava's managed to get past Darlington as well for the lead. Oh, Bendit's going a little bit wide there. So, oh, and was that... Let's quickly jump back. Let's see. There we go. Beaumont did go off the course there, but did he get any contact, or was it just a simple case? Yeah, oh, he's not running traction control. It is the fastest way to drive, but yeah, just a little bit too keen on the gas there as it comes out. It's very easy to unweight the back of that Mercedes. It's got so much power. So we go back up then. Ads has managed to get himself a half-second penalty, so that's probably going to cost him a position or two. And then Darlington wants that first place back, so coming down the straight here, and Jin's right the way on him as well. And Montava goes wide, but he's got the inside line. Does he manage to keep it together? Oh, he does, and that might have been a little bit of contact, or it just could have been a bit of lag, I think. But the gap was there for Jin, and he pushes him wide as well. That's going to leave him open to Bendit. as he comes through. Is he going to get the slip on him? The Lexus in the last couple of updates has been quite drastically nerfed. As Darlington just gives Montover a little kiss on the bum, but nothing too bad. So Jin's managed to capitalise on this massively with those two fighting, so he's up into first place. That's a great result for him so far. So he's just got 5 more laps to go, also get the purple sector. So yeah, 5 more laps to go, and that'll be a solid win. So then, the R8 doing really well actually, considering not many people have chosen that before. In fact, I think that, along with the Alpha, is probably the first time I've seen it. And I'm saying all of that, and it's not a great move there. It goes wide, loses traction, and that's completely ruined it for Montover. And Darlington does give the place back, but that's cost him so many more places. So that's promoted, adds up into 5th now. So that's a good race for him so far. Keeping your nose clean and your tyres on the tarmac, and he's managing to capitalise from other people's mistakes. So Radiate as well, also having a fantastic race. And we've got, watching from the ALR meetup, well, I've completely forgot, I think that's happening in Manchester, isn't it? So a big shout out to everybody at the in-person meetup that's happening today. Wherever you are, give a big whoop. Okay, so settling down now. There's a bit of a spread starting to happen with this race. I think everybody's going to be on the soft tyres through this. They'll be all pretty dead by the end of it, I imagine. But so far so good. So Montover's down in 9th now. I think he managed to make 1 place back at least. Juho in 10th, Lunken in 11th. Well, everybody's tyres, front tyres on the Supra are not quite so good. Might benefit from perhaps putting his brake balance back a little bit. Darlington down in 12th. That's cost him dearly this race, hasn't it? If he can get himself back up into 10th by the end of the race, though, he might get pole again for the following feature. And we've got a yellow flag. Has somebody gone off? And there is, and it looks like Chuck Norris has binned it. That's a shame for him. He was doing really well. JP's doing really good out of the corners there. You can see everyone getting a bit tight on space, and he just managed to thread the needle with his Jag. So that's some good racing from him. He's made up a few places. Oh, that sounded, there was a lot of, I think that jump back quickly a second, and what have we got? There was an Alpha. There it is. So Slavman got a 1 second penalty. And no, it wasn't him. It was his teammate, Tripolis. Right, one more. We'll jump back real quick. So he's got, oh, that's it. That'll do it. 2 wheels on the grass. Loses traction completely, and does give whoever was in front of him, it was somebody, I think it might have been a McLaren, but perhaps Munkin. Oh, and there's somebody else off there as well. It's who's that? That's Montover again. So he's having a right mare of a race, isn't he? Damage. I don't think he needed to pull out quite so much. I think he's given up a little bit. In fact, now not too sure why it's not got nicknames on this one, but I've just realised who that is now. So that's Monty, who managed to do this race and I think made a swift exit from the league after that incident, because he doesn't take part in the next race, and that's it. He's not in the tier anymore. So we'll carry on back up then. So Chuck, after his off, is going to try and make some time up, but it's quite a big gap to the Tetropolis in front of him, so I think he'll struggle to close that gap unless he makes a quite significant mistake. So the two alphas in order in 13th and 14th. Then we've got Orak in 12th now. The pack's still not that spread out altogether. I mean, this mid pack here is really still quite tight. So there's plenty of opportunities for people to make some overtakes. Beaumont in 11th, JP up to 10th now, so that's brilliant for him. So he's got it all to lose. If he can keep this position, that's pole for the feature. Now Darlington's looking to get past Munken to get some valuable points. He'll be desperate to get back up to the pointy end. Now if he sticks behind it, probably a little bit too close there. If he give himself a little bit more space, he would have had to slip a little bit more, but as it goes, he might just... there's the power of the Supra pulling away now, so let's see if he keeps his foot. No, not quite, lets off a little bit, but keeps it on. Oh, look at that. So close. Does get a bit of contact with Munkin in front, but I think that's just because Munkin went a bit deep. But look at this, it's leaving them both open to JP to come through. Now JP in that fast jag must get the slip. Will he be able to make a move to the inside before they get to the corner? It doesn't look like it. Darlington defends that position well. A couple of laps to go. We'll soon see if he makes it past, but up ahead of him, Juho is now in 7th, Rashedi in 6th, so that's a fantastic start from him. From last place all the way up to 6th, he's done brilliantly. And that will be a 4th place start as well in the main event, as long as he doesn't lose that place. Then we've got Drew up in 5th in the McLaren. That's a brilliant livery. I really like that one. Really good colourway. Ads, getting a bit of contact, Grew there. Ads now all over the back of Radiate as well. Where he was for a second, and there's a little bit of a gap. Will he be able to close the door or close the gap as he comes back onto the straight? Both of these cars have been nerfed a little bit in the last couple of updates, so they're kind of sort of on equal footing really. They might be able to fight well, but look at the gap as well between these two guys and then Bendit and Jin in front. These two guys really pulling away in a race of their own really. Not a massive gap. What are we looking at? Maybe a second and a bit. So these two guys, I think, have come down from the tier above, but it's really showing in their racecraft and their pace as well. Really, look at the consistency of that. 2 minute 2, apart from lap 1, 2 minute 2 seconds and change. Super consistent, so that's what you want to win a race. Bendit, although he's got the fastest lap and a 2:03, but it's a very similar pace as well, so the two of them doing really well. Ads now has managed to make it into 3rd. Let's jump back and see if we can see where that happened. So is this going to be coming into the final corner? Bendit, no shout out. I don't know if you're at the meetup, but I did give everyone at the meetup a shout out, so I'll do it again though. Hello everybody. Everyone that's at the Aero League Racing in-person meetup today. I think it's in Manchester if I'm not wrong. Big up everybody there. Hope you're all having a good time. So that was a nice move from Ads getting around Radiate there, so good move, and already making the most of the clean air, getting a personal best in that sector. You live on the better side of the canal. I've only been to Manchester a couple of times, and I definitely don't think it's as bad as people make out. There's definitely some good parts to Manchester, so have a good night out there, everybody, and a good day, whatever you've been up to. Alright then, so we'll get back down the pack and see where the guys are doing down here. So Orax in 8th, still doing well in that M6, personal favourite of mine, that one. Munkin now in 9th. Look at the front tyres, absolutely spent now, and that's only going to get worse, well over 50%, so that's left him wide open to Darlington in 9th now. Took that position. The difference between the tyres, look, it's massive. This track probably favouring a mid-engine car a lot more than a front-engined one. And yeah, he's really struggling with the tyres. You can see he's gone off again into the final chicane. Oh, and so did Darlington. Oh no. Just as it was all coming together to him, and that's left him open to Chuck now. Bendit, I'm only doing Suzuka tonight. I've only got time really. I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so I've got to finish packing, and we're off out early. So this is the sprint, and then we've got the feature coming up straight away afterwards. So yeah, it will just be that one for me, and then I believe Pyro is going to pick up the reins from where I have left off, or he might even do this one again, who knows. But so Darlington bins it again then, so he's down in 13th, that's disappointing for him. Munkin into 12th, got his position back. Beaumont's in 11th, Slabman, don't bother with the feature. Maybe that's where you're coming together, because I looked for it on this race and I didn't see anything, so you've had a good start to this race at least. So the two Alphas coming back in 9th and 10th, getting the final two reverse geared positions, and we're going to have to jump up to the beginning now before everybody comes across the final line. So Bendit and Jin in a league of their own at the front, but the gap between them absolutely fantastic. Although Jin goes wide, is that going to allow enough space for Bendit to get through? He has a look, it's right on the back bumper of him, but does he get it? Come on, cameraman, there we go. It's not going to be enough, unfortunately, but wow, that was a close one at the end. So 1-2 for Jin and Bendit. Ad's getting a fantastic start to the season. Mr. Sandagger himself in 3rd. Then we've got Gru, Bruschetti, Juho, Radiate. Oh, look, it's just coming too fast. Aurak, Tetropolis, Slavman, Beaumont, Carly, mid-pack, really tight at the end of that race. Darlington coming back in 12th, Chuck Norris in 13th, so not as bad as he could have been, and Munkin really suffering with his tyres, dropped off at the end of the race there in 14th, and we had a JP in 15th, and I think we have Monty who perhaps quit because we only had 15 at the end of that race. So yeah, a DNF for Monty there. So that was a good race. We'll go through the reverse grid on the next one. We'll just get that one loaded up. And it's this one, round 1 feature. You just see in the background Beaumont's livery. Shame that one didn't show up on the main race. Hopefully we'll get it on this one. Everybody's done a really good job with their liveries this season. I think they all look absolutely awesome. You just have to wait to see mine and Unai's later in the season, because we can't. Well, Unai's not racing, I think, until the last couple of races, and I'm not doing one for another couple of weeks. So yeah, you'll have to wait to see the Aston when we bust it out, unless you're on the Discord and you can see it there. So let's jump in to this one now. Get all this up. Super. Right. So, rolling start, as we do as always for the feature race. So, Slavman finished in 10th and gets pole for the feature. His teammate Tetropolis in 2nd. So, good start for both the Alpha drivers. Orak in 3rd. So this is going to be a good race for him. He did really well last season in Tier 4 White, so I think he should be able to perform quite well. Although he's starting on the hard, so already we're going to see a strategy difference between these. So Tetropolis starting on the softs, very brave. Slavman on the mediums, so we should imagine a bit of team orders maybe, and Tetropolis will get ahead quite early on in the race, I think. Then we've got Radiate in 4th, also going for the hards. Perhaps this might signify a more standard strategy. Then we've got Juho on mediums, Bruschetti on hards. I will try and get everybody's names right for the next race if I do one, just with the Discord names, but I'm not too sure who it is now. So just the display names is what I'm going to use for this race so far. Then we've got McLaren in 7th with Gru, Ads down in 8th in the Lexus. Then Bendit is teammate behind, and Jin in 10th. Then that's the end of our reverse grid. So we'll watch out for Bendit and Jin. I'm sure they'll have a good race. Then we've got Beaumont in 11th, Darlington in 12th, Chuck in 13th, Munkin in 14th, starting on the hards. Hopefully that'll work better for the Supra. And then JP on the mediums in the Jag. So yeah, there might be a good bit of jostling around in this race. So we'll jump on. Let's go back a few, shall we? And then start the race. So Juho in the very powerful Mercedes closes the gap very quickly, and everyone seems to have a pretty close first corner, but so far everybody's kept their noses clean, so that's pretty good. Juho in that wicked looking Polaroid sponsored Mercedes. Then we've got Radiate up into 4th, the two Alphas pulling away a little bit, and you can already see the tyre advantage of Tetropolis. He's just got to try and get past his teammate cleanly, although he brakes probably a little bit too much there. Let's jump down here. I think we might be into a little bit of something here. Coming into the hairpin, Jin going around the outside, always on the grass. Oh, and he taps it. There we go, that was the move. So gets a bit loose on the grass and knocks the back of Bendit and sends him off. I do think he should have waited there. for that one. But there you go. Run down and see how everybody else is doing. Beaumont's in 9th, chucked up to 10th now, so that's a good start for him. JP in 11th. Bendit's. Oh, look at the gap. Yeah, I can see why you said not to watch this. That's disappointing for you, mate. But I'm sure a man of your calibre will be able to do something. I'm sure you don't finish in last place. So we'll go back up to the front, and it's just Slavman. So where did his teammate go? Orak's now up into 2nd, Radiator into 3rd, and Brichetti in 5th. So the BMWs are getting a really good result for their Constructors' Championship. Grew up to 5th. Ads in 7th, and he's got Jin all over the back of him as well now. What's your lap times? I'll jump back in a minute and run a few laps, and we'll see what you're doing with that one. I can imagine, yeah, it was a frustrating race for you. So Ads is doing a great job of holding Jin off at the moment. We're both on comparable hard tyres as well. So it's out and out pace now. And Ads is doing a great job. And Juho's binned it, unfortunately. It's easy done. Did he get a bit of contact? Let's have a quick nip back and see. As he comes in, no, he's just, oh, he manages to get some contact and then he stops dead. And that is unfortunate. I'm not too sure what you do in that situation, really. But it is unfortunate. Doesn't get any damage though, so let's see. I think there was a McLaren that went into the back of him. So let's see if there's any damage on anybody else. No, so maybe that was a bit of the accursed lag rearing its ugly head. So despite the difference in tyres between mediums and hards, everyone seems to be doing pretty well on their pace, all keeping together, which is good if you're on the hard and you can keep up with people on the mediums. That will definitely play in your favour later on. What have we got here? I think we're going to see a move, perhaps. Orak's going to go for it, looks on the outside. Is he going to get switched back? Well, the nimbleness of that Alpha with Slavman just manages to keep the door closed. But Orak is all over the back of him. One little mistake is all it's going to take, and Orak is going to be pushing for that. Although I think Slavman is on a medium compound tyre, so he will have a little bit more grip. This track does have some exceptionally difficult corners, and there was a lot of noise back there. What was going on? There we go. Who was that? That was Juho this time. We'll jump back to see what happened there. Oh my goodness. Let's jump back even more. So I think that was a Jag up ahead. Was it JP perhaps? Coming in. Oh, he loses the rear end coming round, and that's going to cause a bit of a chain reaction, and yeah, Juho gets collected from behind, damaged front and rear. Oh, that is going to be devastating for 20 or 30 seconds. It's really going to slow him up. Bendit now on the hards, still running personal best and a pretty good time as well, 2:05. Not bad at all. Going faster than those at the front at least, so yeah, 20 laps of this, you might still be able to catch up. So let's see what we've got happening further down here. Ads in 6th place now, so that's good opening 2 laps from him. And then Brachetti looks like he's closing the gap to Radiate in 3rd place. Radiate just positioning his car in just the right spot there to make sure that Brachetti knows he's got nowhere to go. So Jin's up to 7th again now after his bit of contact. Then Beaumont's up to 8th, Darlington's up to 9th. And Chuck's now up into 10th from that Cannon Ferrari, old Nigel Mansell livery I think it was, from back in the day. JP, again, awesome looking livery, very much reminds me of the Brawn GP one because it is a Brawn GP one, that's why. Then we've got Monken in 12th, a little bit of no man's land for himself. Maybe struggling with the Supra a little bit at the moment on the hard tyres, but I'm sure he'll get used to the way that thing drives, and towards the end of the season, as each race goes on, we'll see him get better and better. Juho now in 13th and Bendit in 14th. We've lost another driver as well, haven't we? We started with 15 on this one. So I wonder who it was that left. Oh, we'll find out at the end, won't we? So back up to the front, Slavman managing to get quite a nice gap between him and Orak in 2nd. So good consistent driving from him. Just got to keep that together, and that Alpha being such a small and lightweight car is doing really well on his tyres, so I expect we'll see just a 1-stop from him. The tyres of the BMW doing pretty good as well, actually, considering it does wear its front significantly more than the rears, but so far it seems to be doing pretty good. I think this is the second season he's used the BMW, so he'll be very used to it. Radiate, his old teammate, I think it was his old teammate, getting squirrely on the last corner there, putting pedal to the metal. He really wants to catch up and better this podium. I mean, he's brilliant for his first race, all the way up to P3. What have we got? Happening down there, excuse me. Lots of tyre squealing, you can hear the hards don't like it. So Jin up into 6th position now. Managed to get past Ads at some point. But the Jag really isn't kind on its tyres. You can see how much pace he's pushing on it, because he's really hurting the fronts. And a 203 there as well, and then we've got fastest lap from JP, doing really well for a 2:02 fastest lap so far. So if he manages to keep that, that'll be, I think it's an extra point for fastest lap, if I'm not mistaken. Jin making up a little bit of time, just taking a slightly better racing line than Gru does, but now he gets onto the straight, and then all the power of that McLaren in 5th gear, it's going to be hard to get past for him. I don't think we'll see anything happen this lap between him. So what have we got happening back here? So Darlington's still in 9th place, and JP in the other Jag in 10th. Also, well, on a softer tyre as well than Jin. So those fronts are, and he gets on the Astro and he loses it, and he loses it a bit more. Is he going to be able to keep out of the way of Chuck? He does. So yeah, as soon as those tyres hit the halfway mark, they just drop off really. So we might only see them go to maybe, you might get to halfway. Whether or not he tries something different, maybe goes for the undercut, who knows, we'll wait and see. So now Juho's in 12th, Donkey the 13th, so Bendit is probably half the gap that he had beforehand, and again consistent times, 205s, 204. Unfortunately doesn't get the slip, which is probably would help him an awful lot on this high speed track, but considering he's all on his own, he's doing a pretty good job with that one. Slav now, still his tyres are looking really good, he's looking after them ever so well, and his lap times are still getting better, he's getting them down into the 204s, so very good racing from him. And at some point Aurak managed to get past Radiate, so that's a brilliant move from him to do that one. Definitely one to watch, especially in the M6, it's a brilliant car. 205s, very consistent again and getting a personal best in that last sector. Radiate again, they're tit for tat on their lap times really. And here comes Jin, he late braking, gets the move done and manages to power through. So that's a nice easy move from him. I think Gru may have had a little bit of a spook as he came into the first corner after the straight there. Didn't defend too hard, left the door open for him. So let's see if he can keep up with Jin for this lap, and he might, if he gets close enough, might be able to make a move back again on the back straight, but we'll see. Chuck in the background, getting a little bit loose, coming out of that final right-hander. I saw Beaumont going a little bit wide there. That's going to leave him open to Beaumont, who's going to leave him open to Darlington. That Audi really is quick, especially for an MR. Can't say I get on with the MRs all that well myself, but he's doing a pretty good job. So can he make a move as he comes into the, well, it's not the penultimate corner, is it? He has a look, Beaumont covers him, manages to keep the position. Will he go for a dive into the inside into the chicane? Not quite, but Blumenecke was close then. Beaumont goes a little bit deep. Can he keep the position? No. That's it. Darlington's on the outside. Is he going to get the switch back? Come on, cameraman. Oh, he's gone too wide. Darlington's given it away. Brachetti's managed to get a 1 second penalty as well. So that is going to cost him dearly. He's going to drop down to probably 10th by the time he serves that one. Oh, and Darlington's all over the shop at the back again. Dirty tyres now, we've got to keep it clean just for, you know, the next 5 corners. Keep it clean, keep it on the track, get your grip back. So what have we got here? Gru still in 5th place. What's his position like? So he's got probably a bit too much of a gap now to make any kind of move coming back on the straight, which is a shame unless he manages to late brake massively coming into this hairpin. Radiate is all over the back of Aurak. He wants that 2nd place back. excuse me. Now this corner, coming into Spoon, I don't think I've ever got that corner right. It's very difficult, I find, and everybody here just seems to be doing a brilliant job getting around it. Hitting every apex, using the full width of the track, getting the power down as early as possible. All done a brilliant job. This top 4 are so close. But the hards of Radiate are looking like they might be about halfway, and Jin's looking up the inside. Radiate closes the door on him. Completely closes the door, and now he's got the good run on Aurak as well. Come on, cameraman. The BMW also looking pretty spent on its tyre, down to nearly halfway, so they're going to start dropping off pretty quick. And the mediums, fairly well worn, but nice and even. Unfortunately for Slavman, I think if he goes on to the hard compound tyre now, he is definitely going to suffer. You can see his last lap was a 2:07, so now the tyres are wearing, perhaps, the advantage of the mediums is definitely dropping off. So if you're on a hard and you've been able to keep up with him, then the next stint, as you change to a softer compound, it's going to be brilliant. You definitely have a lot more pace. So coming up to the halfway mark of the race now, so we'll probably start to see some pit stops happening somewhere along the race. Top 4, maybe 5. Oh, and who was that just went wide? That was that Ads, I think. Let's just quickly jump back and see what happened there. He was doing really well beforehand. So into 7th, comes around the hairpin. So keeps it nice and tidy there. A bit of an odd place to go off. No, he mustn't have been in. Oh, there we go. It was Bruschetti, wasn't it? Alright, one more. Another quick look. No, I don't know. I give up. Oh, well, he goes wide though. So that's not going to help him with his dirty tyres. But at least it's on a nice long straight now, so he'll start cleaning them up. We'll jump back up forward again. So this pack at the top, Radiate all over the back of Aurak, having another look. Can he get a speed advantage as he comes through here? He doesn't. He touches the back and it's just going to get in the way a bit too much. And that's left him open because, Aurak's now come in. So he's in, and that little manoeuvre, perhaps a little tap there, has left him a little bit slower out the corner, which allowed Jin to just slingshot round the outside. So good move from Jin. Just holding his pace off a little bit. Good race IQ to wait for a mistake and then capitalise on it. And let's jump back now. So JP in 13th. So Bendit's up into 10th now. So again up into the 204s, 1206. So it might be again the tyres starting to let go on that one. Now we saw Aurak go into the pits. What's he on? So he's opted for a fresh set of mediums and 3/4 of a tank of fuel. BMW a little bit thirsty. Although we do run, it's times 5 tyre wear on the feature races and times 3 fuel consumption, I think. 2 or 3 on the fuel. So no matter what you do, you're always going to have to pit for fuel at least once. But yeah, the BM is a thirsty girl. quite difficult to fuel save on. So Juho's in 11th, sporting a little bit of damage from his contact earlier, and we'll probably see him come in this lap, although he might be trying to go medium soft, so he did have a bit of life left in the tyres. He might be able to get sort of 2 or 3 laps out of them, but whether or not the softs would last that long, I do not think so. So Jin is in to the pits now, getting shot of his hard tyres. That promotes Adds up into 4th and Beaumont into 3rd, but obviously that's not a net position just yet, as they all have to pit. Radiates back into 2nd, and Slavman doing a great job holding his mediums off. Juho Finn, his ABS. Let's quickly jump down. Where is he? Is there? So his ABS is yellow. I think that means, if I'm not wrong, that he has his ABS set to weak, not default, and not off. I think that's what it means. Not entirely not 100% on that, but I'm relatively confident that that means he's running on weak ABS, but not with it off. I think if it's off, it's just completely greyed out as the rest are, because when you use the traction control, that comes up with a little white symbol, so I think that's what it means. However, if that isn't confident enough for you, I guess Google will help you out. So we'll jump back to what have we got here. So Jin's gone for a brand new set of medium boots, and you can already see the pace that it's giving him. As he all in the mirrors of Orak, who is also on a brand new set of mediums, but I think a lap older. So that's going to be once everyone else pits for net position. So Orak's managed to get the undercut on his pit strategy, which is good for him. And Munkin comes in off of his hards. Pretty well spent on those ones. I think it's a good call. You can see his times were relatively similar around the 205s, 206s, and it started to creep up into the 207, so it's only going to get worse. So with 8 laps to go, he knows the set of mediums will definitely do that. So we'll try and catch up to where we were. Bend it now into 7th place, still on his original set of hards. I think that might be a good chance that he'll try and make this last as long as possible, and then try and do a super fast stint on some softs, but we'll wait and see. If I was him, given his position where he was, that's definitely what I would try and do. Try and get as far as you can, maybe to lap 15, 16, and then do a super fast soft stint. And even with the tyres the way they are, he's still only looking at mid 206s, so his pace is absolutely phenomenal. Bruschetti also maybe trying to do a one stop onto softs, but tapping the brake a little bit as he came out there to save the rear, and also by the looks of it not using traction control. It is the fastest way, but my goodness, in that M6 it is so tail happy. Very brave going out without traction control, but it definitely teaches you throttle control, if nothing else. And he comes into the pits, so we'll jump back in a minute and see what he does for tyre strap, as does Radiate. Will they go for softs? I think it's probably going to be a bit too much for softs, so they'll probably go for the mediums. So bend it now all the way up into 5th, and who's that? Duho's managed to get himself a half-second penalty somewhere, probably cutting a corner a bit too much. This track did have a little exploit. I think it was it? I think it's 130R. As you come out, you can pretty much keep your foot on the power and run wide off the track, and it doesn't give you a penalty. Perhaps where it should do, because you'd think in any other kind of motorsport, if you leave the track and you gain and you don't significantly slow down, then you are gaining an advantage. But the track, for some reason, isn't giving that penalty out. But everyone does thus far seem to be being a good sportsman and not exploiting that particular loophole. But that Mercedes and Juho the tyres are shot. He has to come in this lap. I can't see how he can do another lap. There's just no way, so we'll just stick on with him for a minute. As he comes through Spoon, this is going to be hard for that front right. And then he's going to have the penalty as well, so Radiate is going to want him to get out of the way pretty quick. You can see him taking the inside line. Should have used the slip just to get a little bit of a toe. And there we go. Easy move for Radiate. So does he come into the pit, or is he going to brave it for another lap? I can't see how he can do it. No, he's come into the pit, as we thought he might do. So there we go. Who was that with absolutely no tyres left? There he is. Darlington. Wow, he ran his mediums to, I think there's definitely the front left had a puncture, and I think the other 3 were borderline on it as well. That must have been an absolute nightmare to drive. So now we're starting to look at net positions of where people are coming out. Everybody's pitted, I believe. So Bowman getting a run on Chuck. And is he gonna... Oh, Chuck's all over the place there. Fair amount of lag as well. Oh, and he's binned it. I don't know if that looked like there was contact or not. There's definitely a lot of lag in that part, but that may have been a little contact as he was coming back onto the track or across the track, and didn't realise how far Beaumont was, and there's not really a lot he could do about that, to be fair. So I can see why, if there was contact, Beaumont didn't yield. Bruschetti looking for a little distraction in his mirrors. Ooh, getting a little bit squirrely on the out. Is he going to make it through, maybe into the next corner? Coming into Spoon. Oh, a little bit of contact. Does that push Beaumont wide? Not too much. Make sure he yields the position. So Slavman at the front finally comes in. Let's see if he goes for softs. So he's run it down to absolute 0 on fuel, and Bendit also probably doing the same strategy as well, actually. So we'll see if he does softs. He's managed to do really well in the Lexus for his fuel consumption, because it also has a huge tank as well on that Lexus, so could definitely work in his advantage. Little splash and dash for 5 laps of fuel. Let's see what he goes for. He's gone for mediums. but he will be able to absolutely nail them now. So yeah, and you can see his last lap before pitting was 2:07, and then was that a penalty or something? Don't know why that's not showing up on lap 15, but yeah, there we go. Yeah. So bend it up to 12th. He'll be looking to try and get ahead of everybody ahead of him as fast as possible, and exploit those fresh tyres just for the last few laps. As you see, Munkin go off completely, but good driving, keeps out of the way a little bit. He knows he's in the way, so keeps off the track, keeps off the racing line. Good awareness from him. And then Chuck's got in 10th. Darlington up to 9th, going for a soft stint. Will we see 4 red tyres by the end of this race again? But you can see tyre advantages all over the back of Radiate on a set of mediums, but already the softs are worse off. I really can't see how he's only going to have maybe 2 laps of good grip. It even looks like it's going down, like I can see it going down as he's going around the track right now. So that's going to be a real handful in about 2 laps time. So Radiate doing his personal best with a 2:03. Don't know why that's red. Didn't seem to have a penalty on that last lap either. Then we've got Beaumont up into 7th now, going a little bit off the line that he wants through the S's, and then Brichetti's done well into 6th. Ads has had a quiet but a phenomenal race here, up into 5th place. After all he said about not liking this track and not having any practice here, look at that, he's done brilliantly in both races. So one to watch for the championship, I'm sure. Definitely going to be up at the pointy end. Slavman going for the softs. In fact, where did his teammate go? He must have quit as well. So Slav going for the softs. I think the Alpha will definitely be able to handle that a lot better than the Audi of Darlington. I definitely put my money on that one. JP on a pretty used set of mediums now, so Slav's probably going to get this. Oh, and there was a big old bit of contact there. Let's just nip back and have a look. So JP's got track position quite clearly. Slavman has the slip, and I just don't think JP knew he was going to be there. Need to make use of the radar a little bit more there, but Slav does well and makes sure he yields the position, and there's no penalty for JP. Like I said, that corner, if you keep your foot in it, it doesn't tend to give you a penalty, and he comes in again for another pit stop. Interesting. Perhaps he's not got enough fuel to make it to the end. So, never mind. So, Bendit now in 11th place, looking to make it into 10th, goes through the late lunge, hard on the brakes and makes it through the first corner, and that's also given him track position for the next one, and Juho is going to be all over him just to try and distract him and get the inside for the next corner, but I think that's pretty much the slam dunk now. Bendit's managed to make that position back. So he'll have Chuck Norris ahead of him, Oh, goes a little bit squirrely. That's going to allow Juho a bit of room. Makes that Lexus very wide and hard to overtake. Manages to maintain the position. Now, can he close that gap to Chuck? Chuck does seem to definitely have some pace, looking at his lap times, but maybe that's Ferrari a little bit hard to handle because the consistency isn't quite there. Lap times over the up and down a little bit. Oh, and Bendit's just gone completely off the track, and that's given Juho the position back. But the Lexus is fast and they're coming onto the back straight, so he may be able to pull it back again. Coming into the corner, into the left-hander, and making a dive into the chicane. Keeps his foot buried through that corner. Keeping the speed up. Is he going to get a good run coming out onto the final corner? We may see him go for the same move he did last lap. Go hard on the brakes onto the first corner. Up the inside. Well, he might be a little bit far back. If he goes for a dive here, it's going to be monumental. Not quite this lap. Right, we'll jump back up towards the front. So Radiate's managed to get himself a full 1 second penalty, although he's kind of on his own. He's not too far behind Darlington in front of him, but not so much that he's going to be a threat. Darlington's softs, well, he might just make it to the end. They will be pretty bad by the end of the race, but he's definitely making the most of them. He's got fastest lap so far, down to a 2:02.7. So making the full use of the softs, but now looking about just over halfway, so he's going to struggle. In fact, you can already see lap 17 was a 2:03, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one's a high 2:03 or even a 2:04. Not too much squeal going around Spoon, so he's doing his best to look after his tyres. He knows he's got to try and make them last. As soon as you get a puncture on this, that's it, it's game over. It's so hard to keep it on the track, or even just to make the turn of the corner. So into the final chicane. Oh, this camera really is whack. Come on, cameraman, move along. There we go. So does he manage to get another 2:03? We don't know. So let's jump back. Yep, there we go. High 2:03. Next one will be a 4. So Bruschetti again all over the back of Beaumont. This is a good result for Beaumont, and you can see Bruschetti really is pushing hard, trying to make it, and each time he just gets a little bit tail happy. But it's still good car control, managing to keep it pointing in the right direction. And quite a big gap now to the pack ahead, to Ads in 4th place, so this is a brilliant race from him. He's right behind Slavman, so Ads could potentially get a podium here, because Slav is on the softs, and like Darlington, can already see the times getting a bit slower, so as each lap goes the tyres are going to go off, and that's going to be better for Ads, who is on the mediums, to close the gap up and maybe get a position. And here it goes. Is he going to get it? Oh, that is so close. He might have the run on him though. He's got the slip at least. Will that give him enough? The Lexus is fast, but the little Alpha is really fast out of the corners. Now a little lift. keeps the position. No real threat just yet. Now Jin has managed to get himself all the way back up into first place, so we missed those overtakes unfortunately, and he's doing well on his mediums and his fuel choice as well, so he'll still be pretty quick for a light load. Then we've got Aurak in second, slightly worse off tyres, so you can see why he's dropped back a little bit. But will that allow Slavman to close the gap as well? Because his softs have still got a little bit more life than the mediums. But really I think he's going to be concentrating more on trying to stop ads from getting in front of him. So this is the final lap. We're going to see everyone come across the checkered flag. The final, or the start finish straight and the checkered flag, and once the race is done and we've seen everyone get across, we'll just go through the points quickly. So Slav is managing to leave ads behind a little bit and close the gap. Might even have a look down the inside if you can. No. Oh, they're all gone off. Everybody's tyres are going and they're all trying to push just to get that little bit more out of it. But it's all just a little bit too much this late in the race. So here we go, coming into the final chicane for the final time. Here comes Gin Tonics to take the first pole of the sprint race and the feature race. Aurak gets the second place, Slav finishes the podium in third, and then adds brilliant results from him in fourth. Then Beaumont having a great race as well into fifth, great start to the season for him. And Bruschetti taking a spin across the line, showboating in sixth, then Radiate in seventh, and Darlington with 4 completely dead tyres in eighth, as we thought he might do. Juho also equally pretty dead tyres, not as bad but pretty bad, in ninth. Then Bendit manages to make a pretty good recovery drive up into 10th with barely any fuel left. JP gets 11th, Chuck comes across the line in 12th, Monken in 13th, and there are a couple of DNFs in that one, which are, who was it? Will this change? Tetropolis, yeah. So he must have quit somewhere near the beginning of the race after he came off, and obviously Monty didn't start either. So that was a good race. I think I've got the standings for how it finishes at the end of this race at least. So from round one, we have Gin Tonics is in first place, leading the championship with two wins, both the sprint and the feature. But I do think that he suffered a penalty and got dropped back to, I think with the seconds penalty that he had, I think he finished in fourth. So that gave a few promotions, but regardless, the points as they finish, adds in second in the Lexus. Then we've got Aurak and Bruschetti both in the BMW M6, so great result for a constructors' result for them. So respectively third and fourth. It leaves Slavman in fifth place in the championship in the Alpha. Bendit with a rather tragic end to the feature race, but still manages to get up to sixth position so far. Radiates in seventh position. Juho in eighth. Beaumont in ninth as a result of both the races that he did. He had a good result in the well, he had a good result in both races, really. But yeah, he's in 9th place. Then Adalo in 10th, Grew in 11th, JP in 12th, Chuck's in 13th, Monken in 14th, Tetropolis in 15th because of DNF, so not so good for him. And then finally in the standings of this round is Monty with a DNF in round 1 and a DNS in the second race. So yeah, that's it. It's been a really good race actually, and the next race I think was Alsace Village. Super heavy on the tyre wear, and I believe that Pyro is going to do that coverage for us at some point soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we look forward to the next one. See ya.